So ArtEast actually was conceived in 2016, and we had the first edition in 2017, where we wanted a festival which celebrates, or actually literally connects the dots between art, migration, displacement and livelihood. And the reason for these dots to be joined was also because of the stakeholders in that. There was National Foundation for India, a civil society organization which has been working with grassroots organizations across the country. They were completing 25 years, they wanted to have a festival, so we thought of this festival which kind of really addresses the kind of interests and the concerns that we have. And India International Center also came on board, and then a Japanese organization called the Sasakawa Peace Foundation, they also came on board. So far we've had, this is the third edition that we are having, so it's an annual festival. And we try, and though the theme is broad, like it's with art, so there is definitely a lot of art. And we have amateur artists, we have professional artists, also we have song, dance. And when I say ArtEast, it was basically conceived, the term was conceived from how you would pronounce artist. East, India is also East, but we could also look into eastern part of India and beyond that into as far as Japan probably one could go. So it is really a very free-flowing, not very rigid in terms of location. But we started with the Northeast because that's where that National Foundation for India started its work 25 years ago. And Sanjay Ghosh, a very well-known social activist and civil rights activist, had gone there to an island called Majuli, which was the largest river island there, and he was abducted there and he was never found. And so it was also a little memorial in tribute for Sanjay Ghosh. The following year, we actually paid a tribute to someone called MP Ranjan, who died in 2015, who was a very well-known person from the design world, who had started a design campaign on bamboo in Tripura called Chalo Katlamara. So, and also we tried to conceive the festival around bamboo. So if we, for example, so every year we look at a connecting thread, and then we have different conversations which we call intersections. And art is obviously not rigid, so it's not straight-jacketed, so there is a lot of freedom and liberty to really imagine. So the idea is to be able to pick up one thread, one subject, one topic, and let artists and other people, writers, poets, historians, performers, to imagine around that topic and create a festival. This year, we picked up on the river Brahmaputra. Now it is one of the largest rivers in the world, but we start with the Brahmaputra's first name, which is Yarlung Sampo in Tibet. It enters Arunachal as Siang, goes into Assam as Brahmaputra, then it goes into Bangladesh as Jamuna, Padda, Meghna, and into the sea before it forms the world's largest delta, which is the Sundarban. The Ganga joins, Ganga and the Brahmaputra starts from the same mountain range in Mansarovar, traverses the different plains, and the Ganga comes and joins the Brahmaputra in Padda, and then they go to the sea together. So we're trying to explore visually and even otherwise the meaning of Brahmaputra, not so much academically, but also there is ecology, there is academic discussions, but to be able to imagine river. I mean, how does the river think? And so we have poems on river, we actually have art installations on river, and we have intersections and conversations. We have a dance performance, a choreography that someone's created only for this reason, which is on river and migration. So it allows for, it's 3 days of great artistic freedom for amateur and professional artists and performers, and like I said, conversationalists, historians, ecologists, environmentalists coming together from various parts of the world. This time we've got someone called Ian Baker, who was the only person who went to the Sangpo gorge. The Sangpo Brahmaputra gorge was one of the biggest riddles in the world for 19th century, 20th century, Victorian England earlier, and then later in India. And this time we are paying a tribute to someone called Kinthup, who was an illiterate tailor from Darjeeling, who was the first person who actually was able to scale and map Brahmaputra, because throughout the world everyone was intrigued as to how the Brahmaputra, what is the source of Brahmaputra? Is it the Sangpo or is it something else? And the story behind that. So we actually have the explorers who've gone there, who are coming with us, to us. There are performers and there are storytellers, poets, archival material that the Royal Scottish Geographical Society has shared with us, and we are being able to put together. Because it is not a mainstream art festival, in the sense that we do not have the so-called really big artists. This is a space for someone who is ready to imagine that in a new way, and also that is not the idea. So we are not really. Also, the expanse is not like the kind of art festivals that happen in Kochi or in Serendipity in Goa. This is much smaller. I curate it. I've been curating it for since the first edition. Interestingly, it is also part of the Center of New Imaginations, which is a center that we have in OP Jindal Global University, in the Jindal School of Journalism and Communication. And one of the ideas of embedding it in the center is to allow the students to be part of it and actually learn right from conception to execution of how an event is conceived and executed. So this time particularly the students are doing everything from not just publicity. In fact, this is after the festival we bring out a journal, and they have put the journal together, the students really, and so they get to work real time on a magazine, on a journal, on a festival, and in fact one of the students this time is also for the first time in her life putting up an art installation. So this is what ArtEast is about.